what is up? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who saw my original video that I posted last Friday, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the support, and I hope it helps those of you that did watch it and are struggling with chronic illness. For those of you who haven't seen it, take a look. Basically, I explained my journey through chronic illness, how I got diagnosed, what my diagnoses are, and what kind of treatment I've had since then. Today I'm gonna take you through a day at the doctor's. I just started going back to my cardiologist to get some more tests done, make sure everything's running smoothly. I've been struggling with not severe but some symptoms lately, and just making sure everything's okay and that I am doing all that I can to feel my best. So let's go see a day at the doctor's. So first of all, this day at the doctor's is in Virginia. I live in Pennsylvania, and we drive 3 hours to see my cardiologist, mostly because he is a POTS specialist, which when I was first sick was my original diagnosis, POTS, and the doctors I was seeing at home weren't helping much. So my mom actually found the doctor I see now, Dr. Abdallah, at the Children's Heart Institute in Virginia, and we went to see him to get some more options for treating my postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So I've been seeing him since about 2013, which I was a sophomore in high school at the time. He's actually the doctor that diagnosed me with MALS as well, so we have a lot of loyalty to him. He's made such a huge difference in my life. I'm so grateful for him every day. So a 3-hour drive to Virginia is honestly the best thing I could ask for. I would drive halfway across the country for that man, so Virginia is not the worst thing in the world. But anyway, that's why we end up going to Virginia so often for doctor's appointments. My surgeon for MALS now is actually at Einstein. I mentioned that in my last video. But since I haven't been having as many issues with my celiac artery, which is what causes my median arcuate ligament syndrome, I decided to go see Dr. Abdallah because I'm having more problems with my POTS symptoms, which is the fatigue, dizziness, tachycardia, stuff like that. So I thought it'd be good to go get all those things tested out. So on Monday we drove down to Virginia, my mom and I, and because of COVID, I didn't get to see him on Monday in the office. I actually just had my telemed appointment with him a few hours ago, so I'm gonna share with you guys what he said about my test results. But pretty much on Monday when we got down there, I got about 4 or 5 tests done. I'm gonna show you guys some of the tests that I got done and explain why we get them done and what they show. And yeah, then I'll let you know what Dr. Abdallah said and what his plan of action is moving forward. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the tests that I get done pretty regularly to check on both of my chronic illnesses. My vascular surgeon at Einstein, he usually does a CT scan to check my now grafted artery. But I also get CTs done a lot to check the structure of my artery, but I did not get one of those done on Monday. I got one done recently, so no one felt that it was necessary to get another one done. Obviously it's radiation, so not the best thing to be exposed to too much. So the tests I did end up getting done were an orthostatic test, which tests for my POTS, Basically, like I said in my previous video, the criteria for being diagnosed with POTS is an elevated heart rate and a lowered blood pressure upon standing. That's what the orthostatic part of the diagnosis means. So an orthostatic test, basically they have you laying down, and as you get stood up, your blood pressure and heart rate should become altered upon standing. So that was the first test I got done, actually shortly after an EKG, which is just testing the electrical function of your heart. That's usually how they diagnose for pretty serious or heart conditions. Mine's not exactly a heart condition, so my EKGs are usually normal, but I do get them done pretty much every appointment, just to be sure. Not something you want to mess around with. So I did my EKG, I had the orthostatic test, and those are basically standard for diagnosing POTS and testing symptoms and making sure everything is running smoothly or what we need to fix. A lot of people go on medications, all kinds of treatments, but that is how they check the postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So I had those done. Following those tests, I got an ultrasound of my heart, which is called an echocardiogram, and then I also got an ultrasound of my celiac artery, which is now grafted, like I said. And the echo is, again, just a pretty standard test to just check for any kind of heart defects, something that could be serious and need to be fixed. Like I said, my EKGs and echoes are usually clean. Mine is more of a vascular disorder, so that's why I get the secondary ultrasound to check the vascular nature of my body. It just shows a little bit more, and that's how they diagnose my second condition, MALS. So I wasn't actually able to get any video of the ultrasounds to check my artery. They didn't let my mom in the room, so I didn't have anyone to take a video of it. But the results were actually so great. I've seen them do that ultrasound so many times, and like I said previously, normally my artery looks like this, but with the bypass, it was wide open. There was so much blood flowing through it, and it was like probably the best thing I've ever seen. I haven't had an ultrasound done since my bypass surgery, so I haven't gotten to really see the change in blood flow through the artery. And it was just awesome. My mom and I were like smiling ear to ear when they told us how great it looked. But anyway, yeah, I can't show you guys how that test actually works. I mean, for any of you who know what an ultrasound is, similar to like a pregnant woman getting an ultrasound of her belly. My ultrasound is in the upper quadrant of my stomach. That's where my celiac artery is. It comes straight off of my abdominal aorta. So they just kind of push the ultrasound wand around, and they can test the blood flow through there. I'm going to do another video talking more about MALS specifically. It's a really rare condition, and I'm going to go into it further about the treatment, diagnosis, and all of those things, just in case there's anyone out there that thinks that might be them. How to talk to your doctor about running some tests and what kind of tests you would need, because like I said, it is very rare, but it definitely has a pretty big prevalence. I think an unknown prevalence, so I'm definitely going to get into more of that in another video. Like I said, I had my telemed appointment with Dr. Abdallah today. It was awesome. I haven't seen him since 2017 when he suggested I have bypass surgery. So I filled him in on how all that went. We never had given him an update. So I let him know how that went, who my surgeon was. And he informed me that from the results of my tests, my artery looks great. He had no concerns, which is like great news. I can't even explain how awesome that is to hear. I mean, literally every time I go to the doctors or feel the slightest bit nauseous or anything, like I get so scared that something's wrong and I'm gonna need surgery again. So hearing how great it looks is always a good day. So he did say I still have mild POTS, which is good. It explains why I'm still having some symptoms, and it's not severe enough to keep me stuck in bed or unable to function enough to get through my days. I am still having some fatigue and dizziness and things like that, which is why I did go. So he said we're definitely going to figure that out. He asked if I could come back to get a tilt table test done, which is similar to the orthostatic test. You are strapped down to a table and they like lift you slowly. The last time I had one of those, I passed out strapped to the table, so I'm not really looking forward to doing that again, but whatever I have to do to obviously get answers. He just said that the tilt table test goes a little bit more in depth with what it will show. It tests some more things, some more vasculature in my body. So I will be going back to Virginia for that. I will definitely update you guys with how that goes. But fingers crossed they find something and he can think of something to help. But yeah, that's all he had to say. He thought I was doing pretty good otherwise, which again is always good news. So hopefully we can figure something out through the tilt table test. I also saw a cardiologist at home on Friday who's going to put a heart monitor on me for a week. And that will just help give, again, a better idea about what's going on and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about moving forward and hopefully finding some answers and being able to, again, feel my best every day. So like I said, the reason I decided to start seeing some cardiologists again was because of the fatigue, the dizziness. I'm having trouble getting through a full work week. Obviously, just having graduated college, that's something I'm going to have to start doing. So I just want to, again, be able to feel my best and not feel crappy trying to get through life. So that is why I started going to the doctors again. I really haven't been there in a while, so it's definitely a weird feeling to start going back to doctors again. I get a lot of anxiety about all of it, just because I have so many memories of really, really bad times at the doctors, and going back to all that brings a lot of that back. But it's always good to take care of yourself and make sure you're feeling as good as you can feel, especially with a chronic illness. Every day is different and it's always a battle, and make sure you're fighting really, really hard to feel good. But anyway, I would say probably the main reason I decided to go back to Dr. Abdallah was because I've been talking with some other people that have POTS and MALS, and a lot of them are on port IV fluid hydration, that say that it really, really helps with the fatigue and the dizziness, which again is my main complaint at the time. So I went to him to see what he thought about this idea. He definitely said it was something we could consider. For those of you who don't know, which is probably a lot of people because I didn't really know when I first heard about it, a port is a central line that they put into your chest that goes directly into your heart so they can continuously hook you up to IV fluids. It's something I would do from home, and it's a lot to manage from what I've heard and what Dr. Abdallah was explaining to me. And the other really big problem is that the ports have a really high rate of infection, like serious infection, because it is directly into your heart, so it can get into your bloodstream really quickly if the site does get infected. So those were his main concerns. He definitely was concerned that I wasn't feeling good, and like I said, wants to find out more, but he did not want to jump directly into the IV hydration, but said we would consider it. I understand where he's coming from, definitely. I guess I didn't really think of it that way. I mean, for those of you that have a chronic illness, when you find something that's working for someone else, you really, really hope it works for you. But having just graduated college and trying to enter the workforce, and figure out what I want to do with my life, he was concerned that that would hinder a lot of my goals. so those were just his main concerns. Like I said, he wants to do some more testing, so we'll know more then, and I will definitely make a video to update with what our plan of action will be between Dr. Abdallah and the cardiologist I saw on Friday from home. But yeah, I just wanted to take you guys through what a day at a doctor's appointment with POTS and MALS looks like, and let you know why I decided to start going back. I definitely am feeling better than I have been in a long time, but there's always room for improvement, especially with chronic illnesses. This is how you're going to live your life every single day, so even the slightest things to make you feel a little better is always a step in the right direction. So thanks again, guys, for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you haven't seen my original video, take a look. It explains more about my diagnoses and my treatments and surgeries and all that good stuff. It's a pretty long video, so don't feel the need to watch the whole thing. Watch what you need. But yeah, I hope this helped. Thanks again for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video, and a day at the doctor's with POTS and MALS.